Hello, I'm Karen Rawls, Social Investment Manager at Chevron. Welcome to the Chevron FAB STEM Fellowship podcast. Chevron is proud to support the Chevron FAB STEM Fellowship. This one-year discovery program is designed for outstanding educators to learn, create, promote innovative and inclusive programs that teach STEM using digital fabrication. Participants in the fellowship program receive a $10,000 stipend to travel to a Chevron Fab Lab and another worldwide lab of their choice. This initiative is part of Chevron's partnership with the Fab Foundation, which aims to foster innovation, inclusivity in STEM education, and community empowerment. Over the years, Chevron and the Fab Foundation have collaborated on numerous initiatives to bring cutting-edge STEM education to underserved communities. We provide resources, training, and support educators, students, and communities at large. So join me in celebrating the achievements of the past Chevron FAB STEM Fellows who have demonstrated excellence in education and innovations. These fellows have made significant contributions to their communities and inspired the next generation of innovators. To learn more about the Chevron FAB Fellowships, please visit the fabfoundation.org website.
Tech Valley Center of Gravity, located in downtown Troy, is hosting STEM educator Ilyes Tlili from Tunisia as part of the Fab Foundation's Chevron FAB STEM Fellowship. Hi, welcome to Hudson Mohawk Magazine.
Hello, thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. Could you please introduce yourself?
All right, I'm Ilyes Tlili. I'm a Fab Lab manager in Tunisia, Mahdia. I've been in the Fab Lab, for Tunisian Fab Lab for about 4 years as a manager right now, but a member as for 6 years.
What is the Fab Lab? Can you tell us, what does that mean?
Fab Lab is a fabrication laboratory. It's a place when you can find all the fabrication equipment accessible, so you can actually pass from the idea phase to a prototype. And like this, you can actually create your prototypes and create your startups very easily.
And joining us is Dan Falkenstrom of the TV COG, or the Tech Valley Center of Gravity. Hello, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So how has this collaboration been? It's only been a couple of days, right? So how has this collaboration been? What is some of the projects that you've learned from each other?
Yeah, well, I'll say it's been 2 days so far, and it's been very event heavy. So we had a kids STEAM program on Saturday, and then yesterday was the Victorian Stroll open house. So it's been a lot of Ilyes just hanging out and helping out with the programs. But the whole point of the fellowship and the visit is going to be to create a class or a curriculum about digital fabrication that can be uploaded to a web platform that any Fab Lab or makerspace can make use of.
Exactly, yeah. Since I came here, mainly I started by introducing with some introductions with the team, an awesome team, by the way. And afterwards, I tried to help in the preparations for the stroll. The day of the event, which was yesterday mainly, I helped in the create your own snowflake light up. Parents and children were present. I had a lot of fun, and I interacted with many people, and I loved it mainly.
You mentioned accessibility to tools, and that is a lot of the work that you do. Can you talk about how that is present, how you work with accessibility to give more people opportunity?
Yeah, mainly in Mahdia, for example, we are situated in a good place between 3 different higher institutes. So students there always have ideas, always look to create ideas. At first, without the Fab Lab, they were just having these ideas, trying to make them, but stayed in the theoretical parts of things. But with the Fab Lab, they had access to multiple machines, such as laser cutters, 3D printers, especially additive manufacturing. It was a very good addition. And also CNC machining and milling. With those technologies, of course, including electronics, prototyping tools, credit card-sized computers such as Raspberry Pis, they had access to a lot of training sessions and access to these materials to actually create their ideas and their projects and make tangible prototypes. We helped people in multiple different fields, such as artisans, such as even the medical field, the sports field, and of course the technological field. That's a given. Just to give some examples of the projects that they are doing, they're very creative. They're very different types of projects. For example, the artisans are looking for ways to actually do more precise measurements and to automate some things. For example, they can just do some measurements for people using a measurement device they created, and that will generate automatically the cuts according to the design they created. And there are other people in the sports field that they are creating training connected objects that can help people improve their reflexes, for example, and much more, of course.
So both of you are overseeing these incredible spaces that are giving tools that one doesn't necessarily have access to or have themselves. What does that do for a learner, especially these young learners who have all these ideas and are just excited to do the work? How does it open possibilities to future technologies for us, but also to a person's growth?
I think it's being able to give kids just the experience of learning what's possible. Like I didn't learn what a laser cutter was until I was at college. And one of our educators, who he teaches at a middle school, so he built a small makerspace in his school, and he's got middle schoolers using laser cutters, and he's frustrated because they take to the laser cutter really easily, but I can't get them to use the CNC machine, and I'm just like, yeah, you've made so much progress already.
What is a CNC machine?
So it's a computer-controlled machine that will cut out things in 3 dimensions.
Okay.
So a little more complicated than a laser cutter. But by having spaces like these available that, just people can go in and see what's possible, and then that's in the back of their minds, even if they're not making something immediately, they know that exists.
Exactly, yeah. And furthermore, they are now using very accessible prototyping tools such as Tinkercad and other free software. And I love open source, by the way. Open source is awesome. So mainly, since they got access to these tools, they can access it from their tablets, from their phones, from their computers. You don't need performant computer. You can just use a Chromebook because everything is in the cloud now, and they can just have an idea, try to prototype it in 3D, in 2D, and just launch it in a machine, and in 15 minutes they can have something tangible in their hands, and they can prototype once, twice, thrice, even 10 times, and in the end they will get a finalized product that they can actually use for themselves or share it with the community.
There's a real sense of empowerment to being able to solve your own problems.
Exactly, yeah.
And there are always limitations, and I think the clever robot that is mentioned in your bio is maybe an example of like creative problem solving when there are some limitations, how to work around them to still bring a program like robotics to young people. Can you talk about that one?
Exactly. For the clever robot, I would like to do a little bit of introduction. So how it came to be. So in Tunisia, for example, there are a lot of schools that are in regions that you cannot access very fast internet there. They do not have powerful computers, so they cannot do advanced robotics or anything else. So we tried to find a solution with some students, and we came up with one. The first idea was to actually create a robot that you can connect to it using your phone. That robot will have all the sensors, all the controllers, everything, even the interface. It will be hosted directly in the robot, so you won't need an internet connection. And also, because you don't have access to the internet, you won't be able to install an application from the Play Store, for example. So you need everything to be hosted in the robot itself. So we made a robot that has an integrated server. You can connect to its access point using your phone, because, for example, you cannot have a computer in the space, but you will have a mobile phone, that's for sure. So using your phone, you can just connect to the access point. You will be redirected directly using your own web browser to an interface where you can see tutorials, you can see already done programs, and you can enter a programming space using blocks. And using those blocks, you can program the robot, make it do things, and make it, for example, you can even control it using your phone without installing anything and without needing an internet connection. That was the first version. It was a little bit big. Then another group of students, at first 4 students started doing this, and then another group of students started working on the same project. They made it lighter, modular. You can add modules on top of it. You can add, and each module you add will add more blocks to the interface, so you can use it, for example, a hand, a robotics hand, for example, or a clamp, or some sensors, for example. You can just add them on top of the robot and it will be detected automatically. You can have the blocks and you can use them. So that's the idea of the Clever robot and how it came to be. Of course, they used all the technologies available in the Fab Lab, such as CNC machining. They used also mainly laser cutting, even to create the PCBs. Also, they used the 3D printing to create the case for the robot and everything. And for the materials, they're readily available. So if something breaks, it's modular. You can just remove the something that broke, for example, a motor or a controller or anything, and you can just replace it. That was the idea of Clever, and to this day, they're still working on it. So it's a great idea.
Thank you for coming to our studio to talk about the visit and the work that each of you do in your respective cities. So, Ilyes, thank you so much. Dan, it's been great to have both of you. Anything you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Of course. So, first of all, thank you for Fab Lab and Fab Lab Chevron. And Chevron also for giving me this opportunity to see more Fab Labs, to see some more creative people such as Dan and all the team. And thank you for all the Gravity Lab team for their welcome and for their activities and for the things they integrated me in. Thank you very much for that.
You know, I think this program really highlights one of the great aspects of the maker movement, in that someone can go to any city around the world, find a Fab Lab that has the same exact tools that they would find in their home city, and you can still make stuff no matter where you are. So it's really exciting to see that vision in practice, in reality, and it does in fact work.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Sina Bazila Hickey reporting for Hudson Mohawk Magazine.
The Chevron FAB STEM Fellowship is a one-year discovery program for outstanding educators to learn about, create, and promote innovative and inclusive programs that teach STEM using digital fabrication and engage new and underrepresented student populations in STEM education and careers. The program is inspired by Chevron's social investment strategy and the global Fab Lab network, both of which foster innovation, learning, and invention. Fab Labs, with their suite of digital fabrication tools and prototyping machines, including laser cutters, 3D printers, vinyl cutters, and milling machines, are inspiring young people across the world to learn about science, technology, engineering, and math STEM. These are safe and accessible places to play, create, learn, mentor, and invent. The fellowship awards a stipend of $10,000 to each selected educator to use toward creating and disseminating new, inclusive practices in STEM education and hands-on impactful making. The fellows will visit a few Fab Labs of their choice anywhere in the world to learn, to reflect, to co-create new curriculum and disseminate new practices. Their work will be published in podcasts, online blogs, and through talks and presentations at conferences and educational events over the coming year. For more information about this podcast series and the Chevron FAB STEM Fellowship Program, please reach out to us at cvxfabstem@fabfoundation.org.